Today is Tamil Eelam National Day of Mourning, the day to remember how the Sri Lankan state committed genocide in Mullainvizhal, the day on which Tamils around the world remember the atrocities carried out by the armed forces of the Sri Lankan, and the day the civilized world stood exposed in shame. The events of Mullainvizhal were not an accident. Instead, the genocide was a systematic effort to destroy the dreams of freedom of the Tamil people. We, as Tamils, should take an uncompromising stand and continue the fight for the recognition of this genocide by the world. It is in this regard we should create new arenas for our struggle for justice and freedom. The flames of Mullainvizhal genocide should be kept alive and burning from generation to generation. If it is only those people who carry the memory of genocide who will also crave for their freedom. Therefore, the transnational government of Tamil Eelam is examining the possibility of setting up genocide memorials as knowledge centers in different countries. The transnational government of Tamil Eelam stands with their heads bowed in respect to all those who perished due to the Mullainvizhal genocide. It is only a law of nature and a matter of time before the Tamil nation shall liberate itself from the clutches of the single state by standing firmly with the memories of Mullainvizhal in their hearts. Nandri Vanakkam.
Hello and welcome to my documentary, an autoethnography, my journey into joining the transnational government of Tamil Eelam. I first joined the transnational government of Tamil Eelam, abbreviated as TGTE, on May 17, 2019, when I was sworn in as a new member of parliament. The transnational government of Tamil Eelam was established in 2010, an year following the Mullainvizhal genocide that was perpetrated by the majority single government and armed forces in 2009 at the end of a 26-year-long civil war. You just watched one of the speeches that I gave earlier this year on the 10th year anniversary to commemorate the Mullainvizhal genocide that was perpetrated by the majority single government and armed forces against the minority Tamil people on the island of Sri Lanka. The transnational government of Tamil Eelam was established with two main mandates. One was to seek justice for the Tamil victims who were persecuted against on the island, and one was to form a separate state for the Tamils so that they may have their freedoms and autonomy due to the 70-year ethnic conflict on the island that was perpetrated by the majority Sinhala people against the minority Tamil people, my people. This documentary seeks to give you a glimpse into the transnational government of Tamil Eelam, showcasing the various people involved and my involvement with the organization. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Hello and welcome to our transnational government of Tamil Eelam office here at 445 Milner Avenue East in Toronto, Ontario. For this documentary, I'm going to give you a view and tour of our beautiful office here. So this is the main entrance. Come on in. So today they are having a parliamentary meeting. On Sundays we usually hold parliamentary meetings to delegate and talk about our affairs here in Canada and worldwide that pertain to the transnational government of Tamil Eelam. This is our main foyer. And then if you want to show the parliament room, you can go.
electronic system like when it doesn't need it. Margaret Madipale Pula, Margaret Madipale. Yeah, that's original.
Compared to last year, there were so many son of
நான் ஒரு முறை நான் அதுக்கு போன சந்தர்ப்பம் கிடைச்சதில்லை மாவீரர் மதிப்பளிக்கிறதுக்கு ஆனால் அம்மாக்கள் கூட்டிக் கொண்டு ஒவ்வொரு முறை இல்லை மோடியே சொல்றாங்க என்ன எலக்ட்ரானிக் சிஸ்டம்
So in there, they were holding parliamentary meetings and talking and delegating about issues that pertain to the transnational government of Tamil Eelam. Now in here, we have our reference library. So in this library, we have a lot of different resources that pertain to the transnational government of Tamil Eelam and the issues that they are trying to discuss. For example, we create pamphlets and booklets like the disappeared Tamil babies of Sri Lanka to give information about what has happened to the Tamil people in Sri Lanka and how they've been persecuted and there's been a genocide. And so these are the kind of information booklets we put together and we give it out to the general public. So this library is open to the public and we allow for people to come in and use this library space openly so that they have a free and accessible platform to look at information that pertain to the Tamil cause and the Tamil issue. Here we have a Tamil Eelam Freedom Charter. This Tamil Eelam Freedom Charter explains what the transnational government of Tamil Eelam, if and one day when it becomes a country of its own, what will it entail? And that's our office. Thank you for joining me on this tour. And hello and good afternoon. Today with us we have Mr. Roy Vignaraja. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Fine. This is one of our members of parliament for the transnational government of Tamil Eelam, and he's also one of the founding 21 members who helped form the transnational government of Tamil Eelam. So today I have some questions for you, Mr. Roy. What is the transnational government of Tamil Eelam, abbreviated as TGTE, and what is its primary function and objectives?
The transnational government of Tamil Eelam is a political formation of the Tamils. When I say Tamils, it includes the diaspora Tamils as well as the Tamils in Tamil Eelam. It was formed right after the end of the conflict to spearhead and also to carry forward the Tamil's national question. So it's a political formation with the objective of attaining Tamil Eelam through political means. Since our struggle for an independent sovereign state of Tamil Eelam, via armed revolt was brought to an end, and when the fighting forces of Tamil Eelam, which is the LTTE, when they silenced their guns, then we had the next course of action was to take forward the struggle via political means. So that was the reason why the TGT was formed, and the main objective is attaining and is re-establishing the sovereignty of the Tamil Eelam, which was in existence without the name Tamil Eelam. It was in existence for centuries, and after the colonial rulers invaded or conquered the island in parts in 1505, and subsequently, if I go into the history, 1505 the Portuguese, they invaded the Jaffna Kingdom. Then in 1619 the Jaffna Kingdom fell into their hands, and till the mid 1700s they ruled the Tamil Kingdom, but they did not amalgamate it with the southern kingdoms of which is Kotte and Kandy Kingdom. So the Tamil Kingdom was ruled separately by the Portuguese. Subsequently, the power was passed on to the Dutch. They also did not do anything, they ruled us separately. Then the British took over from the Dutch in 1803, I believe. And in 1833, the British, for administrative convenience, they amalgamated all the three kingdoms and made it one island and called it Ceylon. So actually our sovereignty was first lost to the colonial rulers, which is the Portuguese, in 1619. And then subsequently to the Dutch, to the British, and in 1948 it was passed on to the Sinhalese. And our leaders at that time, they thought, we could live together. It didn't work out. So now we were struggling. We started through political means by resistance in the mid-50s. And our political leaders, their legitimate aspirations or their legitimate concerns were put aside. Pacts were abrogated and they were torn off. And the Tamils were subjected to violence, communal violence. Then finally the youth, they started an armed revolt to regain and re-establish our sovereignty via self-determination. And that did not work out, so now we are continuing the struggle via political means, and that's the main objective of the TGT.
Thank you very much for the answer. Hello, good afternoon. Today with me I have Deputy Minister Mr. Mahajaya Mahalingam, Deputy Minister of Information and Communication for the Transnational Government of Tamil Eelam. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam. And so today I'm going to be asking you a few questions that pertain to your ministry. So what is the function of your ministry?
A function of my ministry is information communication with the people, and as well as news and radios, and also communicate with the technology. Basically, we have social medias and all new. We are in the new era, so we are doing our social medias and technology-wise. That's what my ministry is all about.
Great, thank you very much. Who is your minister that you work for, and what is his role?
My minister's role is he's taking care of all the complete media sections as well as the digital sections, and I work under the digital section. Mostly I work under the digital section. His name is Sudan Raj, and he's in Australia.
As a deputy minister, how do you carry out your role within TGT, and what are the current projects that you're working on?
Yeah, as a TGT, I play in multiple roles because as a media ministry, so I had to go to the lot of different meetings, as well as we go to the radio stations and we talk to what we are currently doing, any projects, and also we do a lot of awareness in the streets. We go to the advocacy on not on the street parliaments, and we do we just bring an awareness about what we do. And also we have the projects that we're doing is like right now we're developing our new website for TGT. We used to have this TGT, and we just developing the new version of it. And also we are working with the official Facebook site to make sure that it has been a blue tick mark on it. That means that's the official site, and a lot of people have a different Facebook pages. So these are the things that we're working on right now to make sure we have an official page for TGT, and also other social media we're working as well too, to make sure we have an official site. It takes a little time to get an approval from the social medias, and that's what we're doing right now. And I can say furthermore, we will do more stuff, and I cannot able to tell you right now because that's sometimes you have to keep something secret until you bring it out. So we're holding certain things to not to pronounce to you right now.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mahajan, for your time and for your interview.
Thank you very much. Tamilar Thalapathy Tamilar Kaiyil, Tamilarin Thagam, Tamilula Thayagam. Nandri, Vanakkam.
Hello and good afternoon. Today with me I have my sister, Dr. Kumanan K. How are you doing?
Great, how are you?
Fine. So I'm going to ask you some questions today. Sure. What sparked your interest in joining the Transnational Government of Tamil Eelam as a volunteer?
Okay, so what sparked my interest in joining TGT was the fact that this was an organization that continues to work for a separate Tamil state in the north and east of Sri Lanka. And they advocate for a Tamil nation that is inclusive and free from oppression. And they are dedicated to achieving accountability for genocide committed against Tamils during the whole conflict in Sri Lanka.
So another question is, what has garnered your interest to becoming a Tamil activist?
Well, my people in the north east of Sri Lanka have lost their voices, so I want to be able to give a voice to the voiceless and help advocate for justice and self-determination for those Tamil people. And as Martin Luther King Jr. said, the greatest sin of our time is not the few who have destroyed, but the vast majority of us who sat idly by. And we who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. And you know, the time is always right to do what is right, pretty much.
And what changes would you want to see that would allow for TGT's growth?
To work collectively with other organizations within the Tamil community that are also working towards achieving the same goals for our people back home, and also to see more women and youth participating and within their political system, pretty much. And at the end of the day, we need to be the change that we want to see within this world. And you know, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
My story of becoming a Tamil activist that wanted to join the TGTE started after reading and studying about the truths of what happened to the Tamil people in Sri Lanka. Understanding the root reason what my parents and so many other Tamils had to endure and flee Sri Lanka to seek refuge in other countries was my reason for joining the TGTE. The Sri Lankan government that has been involved in the various war crimes and the genocide perpetrated against the Tamils need to be held accountable for their actions. We, the transnational government of Tamil, stand at a crucial time to create awareness on our struggle for justice and accountability. Families of the disappeared have been protesting on the streets in Sri Lanka for years after the civil war came to an end, and yet the Sri Lankan government disregards the needs of its citizens. The Sri Lankan government treats Tamils as second-class citizens in their countries, regarding the chauvinistic majority Sinhalese as the rightful owners to the island nation. It is important for us, for Tamils, to create awareness of the Ila Tamil struggle to our broader international community and work together to push forward for an intervention that will provide the deserved justice, a path towards reconciliation for the Tamils, and permanent political solution with protection mechanisms for Tamils' rights. And this can only be done with a two-state solution to end the ethnic conflict on the island. So within TGTE, we have a structure where we have an elected prime minister that was elected by the General Assembly that make up the TGTE parliament. The prime minister is Mr. Vishwanathan Rudrakumaran, who resides in New York, America, as well as his 10 ministers who preside in various countries, like the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Australia, the Minister of Political Affairs in France, the Minister of Education, Health, and People Welfare in New Zealand, for example, and we have other ministers and their respective deputy ministers that carry out their roles and responsibilities within the governmental structure of the TGTE. As a parliamentarian MP of the TGTE, I will now showcase one of my speeches that I have given at a parliamentary sitting that happened back in Philadelphia to end this documentary.
Have to maintain. Adding to Member of Parliament Mr. Maria Dasa's comment on creating a TGT website. Yes, I see that there is a website, but there's a lot lacking to it. It needs to have more information. We need to be very transparent about how we are collecting funds, how we are using publicly funded money, and where that money is going. I think the public needs to know this, and so that we are showing them that we are a very transparent government. In terms of what each cabinet minister is doing, what his team is doing, that also has to be published under one main government. Let's not continue to gossip or fight about, what happened with the election. We are not a political party. We are a government that was formed for one reason, or one reason only. That's to fight for our independent homeland and bring sovereignty back to Tamil Nadu. So thank you for the time, Honorable Prime Minister Rudrakumaran. Yes, someone mentioned yesterday that you were the face of TGTE. That's something we need to change. Every single Ila Tamil needs to be the face of TGTE. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. As a child born in Canada, I never thought I would be representing some halfway across little tiny island state that is fighting to separate two different countries. I'm here on behalf of my ancestors, my parents who were born, persecuted, and discriminated against by a ruthless regime in the island of Sri Lanka, and that island shouldn't exist. There should be two separate states on that island, and I believe in Tamil.
As our mission statement reads, the Tamil diaspora is an integral part of the nation of Tamilela, utilizing democratic means in their respective countries, establishes the transnational government of Tamilela as the highest political entity to campaign for the realization of Tamil's right to self-determination. Thank you for joining me on my autoethnography into why I joined the transnational government of Tamilela. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.